Time now for weather with Nebraska Extension Ag Climatologist and Market Journal Chief Meteorologist Al Dutcher. Al, felt pretty warm out there earlier this week before some storms and showers passed through. What does the week ahead look like for us?
Well, Troy, with that warm weather we had earlier in the week, we've seen temperatures widespread 80s, almost pushing the 90-degree mark. Very dry air, unfortunately, and then we've seen that upper air low move its way into the central United States, cut off and spin around just as it was predicted last week. It was a little bit more intense cold on the back side of it than was predicted, a little bit longer warmth on the front side of it, but the overall impacts were the same. Continuous generation of thunderstorms on the front side, wrapping around during the afternoon, evening hours, and then coming down the back side of it during the overnight hours. And we got several rounds of those bands of precipitation moving through eastern Nebraska, and the cumulative effects was generally between 1 and 2 inches, was very, very common for the eastern 1/3. We didn't really see much of any significant moisture across the southern panhandle and the southwest, and unfortunately they're the ones that need it the worst in terms of the drought for Nebraska. So we do have another system coming in earlier in the middle of next week. That does give us an opportunity for several rounds of precipitation for western Nebraska. This might be the best significant moisture we've seen over the last 3 weeks. So as we go to the upper air models, we'll draw your attention that the system that was responsible for our upper air low parked over the central United States has now shifted to the east. We have a trough to our west, northwest, that is going to start to push into the northern plains as we go through the weekend. So we're going to get a break between systems, a little bit of clearing activity, a little bit of southerly flow. It's going to warm our temperatures up to normal to slightly above normal, as a trailing precipitation in southeastern Nebraska is really during the morning hours associated with this system. And then as we get into tomorrow, that upper air low parks itself over north central North Dakota as this movement takes its movement toward the east. Low pressure over the Texas Panhandle doesn't have a lot of Gulf moisture as this system is intercepting it. So this is a local moisture associated with the Pacific Ocean. And then as we go into Monday, that system starts to cut off as we get over south central portions of Minnesota. And essentially, there's not a lot of moisture associated with this coming from the Gulf, so it's basically localized moisture, and that's why we don't see real hot, heavy precipitation amounts associated with the snowfall across the northern plains. And then this system basically cuts off and parks itself over the western Great Lakes as we go into Tuesday, and that extends itself backwards, and that means that cooler air will remain in place across the northern plains, and that will probably have an impact on Nebraska as we basically stay in the cooler areas of the 50s and the 60s. Then we see an upper air low start to develop over the western United States, and itself cuts off. And as it does so, it's going to shift energy around at the surface coming out of the southwest, and that will help to generate moisture over the Rocky Mountains. And some of that may start to make its way into northeastern Colorado, but the better chance starts to come on Thursday. As this trough begins to try to open up somewhat, it's going to wrap pieces of energy around it, and those are going to come out toward Nebraska and the Central Plains, and we will start to see some overrunning precipitation basically setting up over the southwest and the panhandle. And then Friday, as that trough begins to broaden out, we get more activity moving around that trough, and this system looks to be a really good one in terms of precipitation for western Nebraska as it starts to bring an overrunning moisture into portions of the southwest and south central, and then that will start to slide toward the east. The biggest question is, will this system itself cut off or slowly spin itself toward the east? So overall, good chances for moisture. Look even farther, 8 to 14 next Thursday to the following Tuesday, below normal temperatures. And in terms of precipitation, below normal precipitation, although there are signs that another system will start to enter in next weekend and give us some more moisture across the western part of the state.